Military Tycoon tier list. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking a bunch of different Military Tycoon videos in different tiers corresponding to how good I think they are, from worst to best vehicle with F and S tier in between. If you enjoy this video and want to see more content with my voice, let me know in the comments, subscribe, like the video, send me your home address and what time your parents are. So first, I think we should start off with the worst vehicles in the entire game, right? And I think if you guys have played Military Tycoon for a while and you remember when this one came out, you'll know that the laser truck goes into worst tier. This thing is absolutely horrible. It fires like a beam, a bad beam. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. You just have to use it in game. I think you can build a worse version of it. So if you want to try that, go ahead and try it in the game. But it's just not consistent. It does no damage. It's weak. It has bad range. It shoots like 5 feet in front of you. Yeah, and it's not good. So I think now we can rank one of the worst fighter jets. That'll be the F-14. Now the F-14 is really disappointing how bad it actually is. The F-14 is such a cool jet. The F-14 is such a cool jet in real life. But in Military Tycoon it got butchered. It has a bad gun, bad HP, good speed I guess, but every jet has good speed. It has horrible fire rate. It's actually its fire rate is pretty good. Kind of like the F-18, but where it suffers its reload. It takes like years for it to fire, for it to get its shots back. Honestly, it's a C tier at best. Now the Dark Star. The Dark Star, I think will go in low B tier. Now it isn't good at all for combat, but it is super fast. It's the fastest vehicle in the game. I think it goes 285 knots normally, 395 with hypersonic. It's insanely fast, but also there is that one bug that like throws you back and forth if you're going too fast. That kind of hinders it a little bit. It just got a combat update, so now it's actually better in combat. I say it's better than some fighter jets like the F-14 in combat actually, which is surprising. But it's just not good still in terms of combat. It's not like on the level of a top tier fighter jet. Like if you went against an F-18, even an F-18, you would get bodied by the F-18. So yeah, low B tier. Next, the F-16. So when the F-16 came out, I believe it was the first event vehicle. I think it was the second event ever after the bomb armor. And it used to be really, really good. It used to be the best vehicle in the game, no doubt. Well, not best vehicle in the game. Well, best free vehicle in the game, because the A-10 obviously existed back then. But now, I think it's, I'd say it's mid C tier. It has a napalm bomb, which is nice, but they're not really that useful. Nobody uses napalm bombs. It only has 4 missiles, no gun, decent reload time. It's fast, but it also suffers in HP. It's not very good. Now the Katyusha, F tier. It's kind of like, it's an artillery vehicle, right? But you can't, there's no such thing as artillery in Military Tycoon. It's not like you're in an actual combat where you can use artillery effectively. It's just like a bad rocket launcher, basically. It's a rocket launcher on wheels. It's like the missile truck, except it has no lock-on. Alright, now the Eurofighter Typhoon is high A tier. This thing is a monster. It's fast, it has a lot of HP. I believe it's tied for the most health with the A-10 Warthog out of any plane. 11 stabs from the heat knife. It has a good gun. It can the gun can aim in any direction, so you could fire behind you, in front of you, below you. It has 10 missiles, decent reload. Cool. It looks alright. I think it's kind of ugly, but oh well. The Santa Mouse tank. It's alright. Low B tier. All it really has going for it is its HP. It's super tanky. I think it's the most durable vehicle in the game, excluding naval vehicles, because obviously that's like, a carrier doesn't have more durability than a fighter jet, or than just a normal tank. But the Santa Mouse is super durable. Unfortunately, it actually isn't stronger than its normal counterpart. It just has more HP, but the gun doesn't do more damage, the turret doesn't do more damage, it isn't faster, it's super slow actually. Like, I think it caps out like around 40 knots. That's extremely slow. You're not gonna get anywhere at that speed, especially with a map as big as Military Tycoon. Like, if you want to take this thing somewhere, it'll take you 5 minutes to get to your enemy's base, and then what? They're gonna spawn a fighter jet and kill you? It's not the best. Now the Golden Spitfire. When this thing was added, it was an absolute monster. It would be an S tier if they never nerfed it, but they nerfed it horribly. So now it's really a low B tier as well. This thing, it's kinda good. It used to be an absolute monster, like I just said. It had insane guns, insane fire rate, insane damage. It was basically like an A-10 Warthog back then. But now they nerfed it, so only one of its explosive guns actually fire. It's slower, it does less damage, less durable, just not good. Now the anti-air tank, honestly, the anti-air tank is the first S tier on this list. This thing is an absolute monster. Whenever I'm flying and I see an anti-air tank on the ground, fear gets stricken into my heart and I immediately run the other direction. I do not want to fight one of these things. And especially after they added first person mode, it's now way easier to aim so you can destroy targets easily. Yesterday I went to a server and I used one of these things and I turned everybody in the server into Swiss cheese. This thing's just a monster. It'll absolutely obliterate everybody. It's not fast, but it's not extremely durable either. It's not really fast or durable, but I think it has the best array of weapons in the entire game. It's an absolute monster. Now the warplane. The warplane when it was added, it was actually really good. Well, obviously back when it was added, there was only 2 jets in the entire game, the A-10 and the warplane. So the warplane had to have been second best back then. But honestly, the warplane is low C tier. It's slow. It's really durable, which is good, but it's slow. It does have 6 missiles, but it has the bad gun where it only fires forwards, and the ammo isn't even explosive like the F-18 has, so it's really hard to hit your targets, and it barely does any damage at that. So like, it does have 6 missiles, which is more. When it was back then, that was a lot of missiles. That was insane. That was almost A-10 equivalent. But now, on this power creep really destroyed this thing. Like, this thing cannot compare to any other fighter jet in the game. It used to be good, but just not anymore. Now the Apache attack helicopter. This thing, I believe, is the second most expensive game pass in the entire game. It's 1,500 Robux, and it's horrible. It does no damage. It has 2 missiles, low durability, low speed. Honestly, after they revamped the normal helicopters, I see there's no purpose in buying this thing. It's garbage. It is horrible. Like, it just does nothing, man. Now let's move up to a better jet. The F-22 is high B tier. The F-22 is basically the warplane, same weapons, same gun. It's faster though. It's better in every way. It's like the warplane but buffed. They both have 6 missiles. They both have very similar guns, but the F-22 is faster and more durable. Also does more damage, has a faster fire rate, and better reload. Honestly, it's a high B tier. It could be an A tier, but honestly, alright, the F-18 is high B tier, high B tier, above the F-22. So the F-18, it used to be horrible. It used to be the worst jet in the entire game. It does have a lot of missiles, but back then it fired like no shots. But back in October, they added an update which buffed it. So now every single missile fires 3 missiles. So like if you shoot 1 shot, it'll turn into 3 shots, which is insane. If you can flare bait someone, which means make them activate their flares by using 1 missile, you'll absolutely obliterate them with the rest of your shots. It's just insane. Right now, the Terabyte. The Terabyte is an F tier. It's slow. It's bulky. That's about it. That's about all it has for it. It has a lot of durability. The radar is cool, but you can't even use it while you're driving. You have to get out of the truck and go into the back seat and then activate the radar to see where your enemies are. And even then, what are you going to use the Terabyte for? It's just a truck. It has 1 missile in the back, which you also can't control from the driver's seat. You need to either have a friend, which most of you don't, or either walk all the way to the back, shoot the missile up, and then you're just vulnerable because you can't move the vehicle now because you're in the back seat trying to use the freaking missile. Just garbage. Right now, the HIMAR is an A tier vehicle. Now, in real life, the HIMAR is it's modern day artillery, right? But in Military Tycoon, it serves as an anti-air vehicle. And honestly, you guys might criticize me for this, but I honestly think it's better than the rocket truck, the missile truck. I always confuse their names. The missile truck is good. I'm not ranking it yet. It is good, but its durability. Its range is horrible. It shoots 20 feet up into the air, and it's super easy to avoid in a fighter jet. And from there, you can just bomb it or shoot missiles at it or your gun or whatever your plane has. It's super vulnerable. But the HIMAR, it does do less damage, and it does have a slower reload time. But the HIMARS has higher range, more durability, and more shots. It has 6 rockets at a time. Honestly, it is good for anti-naval. Big target, you can hit it from afar. I remember people use the HIMARS a lot when the frigate update was added and there was all those AI battleships in the ocean. This thing was really good for it. Now, while we're on the topic, let's rank the missile truck. A tier as well. It is really good, but I just don't think it's as good as the HIMAR. It's basically same thing. Good. It's for this one isn't for artillery though. It's for anti-air specifically. It does do more damage than the HIMAR, but like I said, and it does have a higher reload. But like I said, that range is just what kills it. It's not good at a long range. And now the 24K tank is a D tier vehicle. I only put it on here because it's what made me like start playing military Tycoon. I started playing when the 24 karat tank was added during the El Dorado event all those months ago. But honestly, it's a D tier. It was actually really good back in the at the time. Back then, it was really good. Honestly, it has 2 missiles, a turret on top, a good gun, good shots. Like it had missiles on the side. It has missiles on the side you could shoot when you upgrade it. Now the Tiger tank is not F tier. It's a D tier vehicle. This thing is probably the most forgettable tank in the entire game. I've been playing this game for months, and I've never seen a single person use the Tiger tank. It was added in a pretty uneventful update, the one map update a little bit ago, the one where it changed the map from like looking like a desert to looking like a mesa biome, and it was added with it, and just nobody cared. I didn't see anybody make a video on it. It was just a very irrelevant vehicle, and it still is a very relevant vehicle. I tested it. It has mediocre durability. It's slow. Its gun sucks. It's like the APC but worse. Alright, now the A10 Warthog is high S tier. The A10 Warthog is an absolute monster, and up until recently was the best vehicle in the game. It has been the best it was the best vehicle for over a year. It has 2 ballistic missiles, 4 normal missiles. It's the most durable plane in the game, being tied up with the Eurofighter Typhoon. It's not really fast. It goes 160 knots, but with hypersonic it goes 280, which is pretty nice. It has the best gun in the game in my opinion. It has that turret that goes everywhere. It's like the Eurofighter's turret, except it does more damage. It's faster, more magazine capacity, more reload. Yeah, that's about all to say about the A10. It was my go-to plane for a while, but now the the Grapple ATV is the best vehicle in the game, honestly. I am joking, but honestly, it goes into S tier just for fun alone. This thing is absolutely awesome to use. It's like being Spider-Man in Military Tycoon. And honestly, it's actually kind of useful, like, if you're trying to escape from a ground vehicle, like if there's a tank chasing you, you can just swing onto a building, fly away. And it also survives water. Like, if you accidentally crash into some water, the vehicle won't die. You can grapple your way out of the water. So I guess you can call it an amphibious vehicle if you wanna. But yeah. It's fun to use. The event was boring, and honestly, I use it like once a month at all. It's not like practical, but it's fun to use every once in a while. That's what I'm gonna say about it. Now, the F-35 Lightning is the best vehicle in the game, or should I say the F-35B because it has a VTOL. Whatever. The F-35 is the best vehicle in the game. It has 11 missiles, insane fire rate. No gun, but its bombs are really good. Its bombs did get nerfed, so now they don't one-shot players, and now they aren't infinite, but they're still good. They're the best bombs in the game still. Good missiles. No gun, unfortunately, but it is pretty fast as well. It's fast, but not super fast. Most jets on this list actually are faster than it. It only goes 200 knots and 310 with hypersonic, which is still fast, don't get me wrong, but most jets on this list outpace it. I believe the F-18, the F-22, the Dark Star, the Eurofighter, the F-14, and the F-16 are all faster. So it is kind of slow with quotation marks because it's fast still. But honestly, I do not lose fights in this jet unless I'm going against another F-35. People still think that the A-10 is better, but I think it just isn't. The F-35 is an absolute monster. It's the best vehicle in the game. That's just it. It's simple. Alright, that's it. That's my tier list. So you can screenshot this or whatever. Maybe I'll put a link of this in the description of this video if you guys want to make your own tier list, like make your own, like rank them all. Also join my Discord server, link in description. And I love you. See you next time.